Good.
Hey, Jay.
Oh, good afternoon and welcome. And boy, we got a good one for you today. All right. Introducing on my right side, Ms. Matthews.
Hi.
On my other side, Miss Smith. All right. We're going to have fun with stretching today. And before we get started on stretching, we're going to work on stretching and leg stretches specifically. We're going to talk about some kicking drills to help you develop strength in your kicks and how to generate power in your technique. So to help you with all of these kind of things, first thing we need to do is get warmed up. So to warm up our bodies before we get started, let's just start by gently rocking back and forth, get those kinks out, come all the way up on the ball of your feet and all the way back down. When you come all the way up on the ball of your feet the second or third time, let's start stretching those toes all the way out. This is where people normally start having problems because they inadvertently hook their toes on something and toes aren't stretched good enough and ouch. Okay, so we want to make sure that those toes are all the way stretched.
Kicking the dog doesn't count.
All the way up, back and forth, get that body nice and going. Now we can get our hands involved, swaying back and forth, get those hips moving, just swaying back and forth. All right, let's break into some jumping jacks. Ready? And go. All the way up, touch your hands, all the way down, touch your side. All the way up, touch your hands, all the way down, touch your side. If your hands ain't touching, you ain't stretching. Get that body going, okay? What we want to be able to do is we want to do this for at least 2 full minutes. And you're going to go, wait a minute, Mr. Matthews, we only do like 25. Yeah, no, we're going to do 2 full minutes. Get the blood pumping. We're working legs today, so we got to get those bodies pumping.
More in these 2 minutes are probably going to be a lot longer than 2 minutes. It's not very good at time.
So, and you guys know how bad I am with time. So now we're really going to get these going for the next 30 seconds. We're going to try to jump as high as we can. So ready? And jump as high as you can. High as you can. Back down. Up, down. Up, down. High. Explosive technique. Okay? Up, down. Up, down. Get that body moving. Okay? For you guys that can't do jumping jacks, just rising up and down on your feet, on the balls of your feet. Okay? Get that speed going. Slow is not what we want today. We're going to go fast. Get that body going fast. Up and down, up and down, up and down. All right, and relax. All right, we got everybody going now. Got that blood pumping. So like I said, we're going to practice. We're going to do some stretching, and we're going to work on some explosive power and technique. Okay? If you really want to have a decent kick, you've got to practice at full speed. Flexibility is speed specific. So if you practice slow all the time, that this is my kick, you're never ever going to have a really fast kick. You have to practice speed. So the first thing we have to do before we do speed is make sure that my muscles are limber. Okay, so for this first leg stretch, we're just going to go ahead and have a seat. You're going to have a seat on the ground, feet straight out in front of you. Bend all the way forward, touch your toes. Okay? If you're having a problem where you're touching your toes, okay, you can always have somebody go behind you. Put both hands on the outsides of your shoulder. Never press directly on the spine. On the shoulder and gently push forward. Okay? If you behind them want to practice your stretching, put your feet all the way together and bend forward at the waist and then practice your press. Okay? They should feel at the back of their knees a little stretch. Back of their thighs, a little stretch. If you're not feeling those, that means that those muscles are already limbered up. Okay? Go ahead and relax. Go ahead and stand up. So we've got that all worked out right there. So now we're going to work on our glutes. Actually, we're going to work on our hips first. We're going to stretch those hips out. Okay, so I got my frisbees out. So you're each going to grab one of the frisbees. Okay? So if you don't have a frisbee at home, you can use a piece of paper on some carpeting. Anything that'll help you slide. So go ahead and grab it. When you got it, then you'll be ready for this next part.
Pleats work pretty well.
I'll give you 30 seconds or so to go grab that.
Get like a plastic plate. It's pretty much the same thing.
Dinner plate works really great. Mom's fine china.
Maybe not the fine china, the
I never did understand what the term fine china meant.
Kale and the kids are watching.
The fine paper.
Fine paper
Okay.
plates.
My family, in my family, fine china means the expensive paper plates. All right, go ahead and set those down underneath one foot. Okay, so for this first stretch, we're just going to go ahead and slide all the way down into our position. So we're going to go like you're going into listening position. So go ahead and step down into the listening position. Okay. So we're here in good listening position. And all I'm going to do is the leg that is bent is the one that has the plate on it. So for my back leg, I'm going to turn my leg all the way in. So she's going to turn this foot, the back foot, all the way across here. Ms. Smith's going to turn her foot all the way across. Everybody can see how that goes now. And just go ahead and stretch forward with that front foot as far as you can. Okay? And then lean, let it slide into it. Try not to lean forward into it. Yep, nope, perfect. Okay? Just slide all the way forward into it. Okay? You want to try to keep that back up and arched. Okay? Because we want the stretch to be in our hip, not in our back. If you lean forward, you're going to stretch different muscles. I want to make sure that I'm stretching the correct muscles. So we're going to make sure that I have this correct muscle stretching. Okay, so we've got that muscle nice and stretched. And we're going to hold this 30 to 45 seconds. Okay? We want to really make sure that we extend that all the way out. And as it's stretching out, we want to use our breathing technique. So here's your first breathing technique. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, push that foot out a little bit further.
It's as far as it's going. I'm pretty much at the floor.
I'm with you.
I'm at the floor.
Okay. For those of you guys that are not as limber as these two, Kale. Okay. Kale can relate to me. All right.
So it's like,
For you guys that cannot do this stretch, go ahead and switch legs, ladies.
Caitlin
Okay.
Mayer?
For you guys that cannot do this stretch, you can do it standing. Turn your back foot all the way out. Put your upper foot on something, let's say a chair, okay, the bed, right? And just slide it all the way forward as far as you can, okay? You're stretching through the back of the leg muscle here. And now from here in this position, I want to try to lean forward as much as I can to get the hips to go ahead and stretch with me, okay? Stretch all the way through that. Of course, it's much easier if I can bend that back leg, but if I can't, okay, I understand. Okay? I understand. Okay? Personally, I can't get on the floor and do this, so one of the first rules about this is if you have knee problems, don't do this one. Okay, well, that leaves me out. All right, we're going to let that sit another 20 seconds or so. Everybody knows how bad I am at time, right? Just asking, just checking. It's rhetorical. You don't have to answer to the screen.
Katie!
She says she's
Maydor.
watching,
Oh.
watching while incorrectly sitting at work.
Miss Maydor. I love that girl. All right. Tell your mom I said hey. All right. Pet the dog for me. All right. From here, go ahead and relax. Now we're going to graduate up to chairs. Okay? So for your, oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one. We got to do our sideways stretch. All right. Now we just do our regular Korean splits, which will go ahead and stretch us all the way out. Again, being able to slide on something helps you stay really good and focused. Okay? Some of you guys are going to go, I don't need that. I can just go, my feet aren't naturally clammy, and I can just go ahead and slide. Or if your feet are clammy, you do it on tile floor, because just slip and slide. Okay? Slide out as far as you can. Okay? And the reason that you only do it on one leg, the slider on one leg, is that it keeps you from accidentally sliding too far and injuring yourself. And if you are going to slide too far and injure yourself, make sure mom or dad have the camera out so they can put it on YouTube and maybe get 1,000 views or so before they take you to the hospital. Funny story about me. I fell off a ladder once. I remembered how to land properly when I hit the ground, threw my arms all the way out, hit the ground properly, tried to keep my head up, hit chin into my chest so that my head only hit, slightly, gave myself a bit minor concussion. And I covered myself full of tar. And Miss Matthews was able to take the tar remover, get all of that off of me before they took me to the hospital. So nobody has pictures of me covered in tar. The age before cameras. It was great. All right, go ahead and relax. Go ahead and stand up. Now we're going to go ahead and use our chairs. So everybody get a chair. We're going to use chairs pretty much for the rest of this. So the first stretch we're going to do is a hip stretch. Okay, so now we've got with our feet, so now we're going to do the hip. Okay, the hip is normally done on a low rail or whatever, but we're going to do it on a chair. Okay, so all you're going to do is take one foot, put that foot up in the center of the chair, and lay it over. Okay, lay it over as much as possible from right here. Okay, take your opposite foot and turn it out. Okay, the same as we did with our first stretch. So we're pivoted all the way out, and now all you're going to do is bend. Bend and stretch that. Okay, bend, bend, bend. Okay. As you bend, you're going to notice that you're stretching the inside of your thigh. You're going to stretch the inside of that knee. That's a really good stretch right there. Okay? We're going to be stretching through the hips. Okay? So don't worry about how that stretch is working out for you. Just feel it. Okay? You can kind of see that these guys are really struggling trying to get that full stretch in there. I understand. Okay? If you're really good at this, what we're going to do is slide your back foot all the way up to the base of the chair and do the same exact stretch. Okay? Okay, the advanced version of this stretch is done on the floor to do the same angle stretch sitting. Yeah, that hurts a lot. Okay. Never going to happen for me. Okay. Now from here, go ahead and switch, relax. All right, we're going to use the other foot. Go ahead and stretch that one all the way down. Put that foot all the way up in the middle, pivot the other foot. Here, rotate that knee all the way out and stretch. Oh, bend that all the way down. Feel that here. You can't feel it in here, you're not going down low enough. Go low. Okay? Again, if you have knee problems, don't do this one.
Outside hip stretch. That's what I'm feeling it.
All right. And go ahead and relax. Next level. Turn your chairs around. All right. So for this one, it's going to be a little bit more intense. Okay. So for this one, let's go to the starting position. The starting position is probably the hardest. Once you get in the starting position, everything else should go from there. Go ahead and put both hands on the back. You're going to start like you're going into a listening position. So go ahead and pivot that front foot. Take the back foot and just set it flat on the ground. Okay. From right here, you're just going to bend all the way down. We'll start at the waist, bend all the way down, keeping that body straight, and just flex, flex, flex. Bend that back leg all the way, the front leg all the way back, and drop it all the way to the ground. Like Miss Smith is doing right there. Drop it all the way down to the ground. So that back knee touches. Okay? Once that back knee touches, now slide that foot back behind you as far as it'll go. All the way down, stretch it all the way out. Yep. Feel that stretch. Okay. A little hard to understand. Piece of cake. I'm here. Slide this foot all the way back behind you as far as it'll go. And allow that front leg to bend. Allow that front back leg to slide all the way back behind you.
That one's hard.
It is hard. Everybody see how Miss Smith looks with that? Easy, right? Piece of cake. All right, for the intermediate version, which I'll have Miss Matthews perform for you guys, just cross.
That's the beginner version?
For the intermediate version, for Miss Matthews, just cross the front leg over the back leg on this side, right there. Try this. Should be able to sit right there. Stretch. You feel the stretch in that? Oh, okay. For you guys that are flexible, stretch. People like me, we're still at this one. My bionic knee, not so good. Actually, my bionic knee is doing pretty good. Okay. The next one ought to be pretty interesting. We'll really get you guys going. Did you switch sides yet? Go ahead and switch sides. Sorry, switch sides first. Stretch. All right, and go ahead and stand up. All right, now for that big thigh stretch. Okay. So from here, go ahead and put your foot up on the top of the chair. Put your toes all the way down so they're flat. Okay, let me turn sideways. Miss Matthews can show you her sideways. Forward. So you put your foot up, put your toes flat. Okay, so your feet are completely flat. And then bend as far forward as you can and stretch that top thigh out. Okay? For you guys that are really bad at this, you can see Miss Smith right there, she's got it pretty good. For some of you guys, you're going to go, oh wow, I really can't do that one that well. Okay? Put that leg up on the bed. Right? So I got my block here, which is the equivalent to the top of the bed. Right? Go ahead and put your leg all the way up on top here. Okay? Straighten that leg all the way out as best you can. And arch your back all the way up. Okay? So if you're having knee problems, you can't bend those knees, you can still stretch this thigh. Okay? Keeping that back leg straight. Okay? My knee's only slightly bent, and it's being supported right here. These ladies, their knee is not supported at all, and it should be they should feel a really good stretch on that top thigh. Okay? We want to stretch that thigh out because we really want to have some good speed when we start practicing those kicks. Okay? For you guys that are up here like this is where we're at on this one. Okay? And go ahead and relax, switch, other leg. Okay, go ahead and put that foot up there. Stretch.
Yeah, yes. If balance is tricky, go to the floor and just lean.
Okay, well then you're doing this one that I'm doing. Now where this one becomes really tricky for some of you guys, you know that I had the knee surgery, and the thing that they tell you when you do your knee replacement is that the max that you're going to get for range is about 110 degrees. And when they told me that, I went, oh, that's unacceptable. Okay? Remember, this is 90 degrees right here, right? This is my full stretch where I can pull that knee all the way back and touch my butt. Okay? So when I went through my physical therapy, I said, that's unacceptable. So I pushed and pushed so that I could do this. Okay? I get beyond my 110 degrees. I'm past 145 degrees. Okay? If you want to do that, you got to practice, practice, practice. That's what they're doing right here on that. Practice, stretch it. Get that leg all the way stretched out.
Jackie Mater is now on. And she says hello to both you and Mrs.
Hi, Jackie.
All right. Good. Go ahead and relax. All right. The next one is a partner stretch. Now we're going to start some partner things. Okay. I'm going to show you non-partner and partner. The advantage to partners is that partners can help you push a little bit further. Partners can also help stop you from doing bad habits. Okay, so we're going to stay, normally you would do this on a wall. Obviously wall space is pretty limited here. And I'm not letting people touch my mirrors because I'm really OCD about my mirrors. Okay, so we're going to use the chair. So partner number one is going to put their hands on the chair for balance. Okay, doesn't matter which one of you does that. Okay, so she's got her leg up there. She's going to pick her leg up like she's going to chamber for a side kick. Okay, so she's chambered for a side kick. Your partner's going to come up, grab your knee and your ankle, right? And you're just going to rotate this all the way out and back. You want to try to press that leg up against your partner here. Hold on to that shoulder and get nice, open that hip up, and kind of really get the stretch going on your partner. You're going to be her partner. Okay? Normally you would try to do these on your own, okay? But this is a really good hip stretch, right? It's also a really good groin stretch. That way you don't accidentally pull your groin muscle. All right? But we want to practice that hip stretch right here. Now if we lift up on that knee a little bit, pull it all the way up, get that groin involved as well, right? And we want to try to really open those hips up and get that good stretch going. Okay?
Caitlin says, and no doing hair in the mirrors during class, right?
And no playing with your hair during class.
I remember all the push-ups we had to do.
All right, and go ahead and
Quit
switch.
tattling on me.
Other leg. Open open that hip all the way up. Relax the feet. Okay? If the feet aren't relaxed, it's easy to check to see if they're relaxed. Just run your fingers a couple of times along the bottom of the foot to make sure that foot is relaxed. Stretch, stretch, stretch. You feel that at all? Okay. Good. Okay. Get that nice and stretched, relax, pull yourself through it. And again, you'll notice that I take a long time with my stretches. There's no such thing as, oh, just a couple of minutes, stretch, let it go. Okay? By the way, for all of you guys that are above the age of 30, double the time for the stretch. Okay? When you get above 60, double that time. All right? If I'm going to get in a fight, I have to go out and spend at least 35 to 40 minutes stretching, warming up
Then bring it.
for a 1 minute fight. And then I need 2 days to recover. Usually it's just a fight with a lid on a jar or something like that. Okay, go ahead and relax. All right, so everybody can see how that kind of goes, how that works. Okay, so now we're going to do Miss Matthews. She's going to go ahead and put her leg up. So now we're going to do, actually, you know what, we're going to do the block. Put your leg up on the block. Okay, this is the alternate version, right? So remember I said, put your leg up on the block. Go ahead and put your knee up on the block like you're here, okay? So now we've got the legs supported. So now we have to use our rotation to simulate what we were just doing. Okay, so here, we keep our leg in place, turn the upper body. Just turn the upper body as much as you can. You'll start feeling it a little bit on that stretch, okay? You'll probably, because you're doing the supported position a little bit better, you're probably going to feel a lot more pressure on the outside leg, the base leg, the plant leg, okay? And that's okay as well. Right? We really don't mind having a little pressure on that base leg as we go. Yeah, you see Miss Smith is using the chair to help her turn and rotate the back. Okay. As we practice this and stretch it all the way out, again, we're letting the muscles relax. Okay?
Focus on the area you're turning. If I turn shoulders, that's not what I'm trying to stretch. You want to turn
The
hip.
There you go. Good point. Okay. We want to stretch all the way through that hip. Pull all the way through. We're going to stretch that all the way out. Feel it nice and strong right there. Okay. For you guys with jongbongs, this is a really good practice for your jongbong because you hold the jongbong all the way out and rotate all the way through as far as you can. Because you're using the length of the jongbong to hold your arms in place, it keeps you from using just shoulder, helps you put more into those hips. Okay. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Now, because we're doing this single, we don't have that person giving me that extra. So to help you with the extra, we're going to bounce. When I say bounce, we're going to bounce lightly. So to bounce, we're just going to relax our body for just about 3 or 4 inches, and then twist as far as we can. Twist, hold on for a second, relax, and twist again. Okay? So a bounce is not loading up and trying to twist through it. It is
It's
relax.
a very small motion, more like a pulse.
Relax. Turn. Okay? You're going to do that about 10 times. Each time you inhale on the release, exhale on the twist. Okay? Exhale on the twist, push it all the way through. Feel that twist all the way through. Okay? That's for single without a partner. Okay? Go ahead and relax. Okay? There are some limitations with not being able to use a partner. Okay? The first limitation you notice is that the height is standard, right? You don't get somebody lifting up on the knee, putting that extra pressure on the groin for you. You don't have that partner pushing and providing that resistance against the joint for you in the muscle. And you have to rely on the other parts of your body to provide that resistance for you. And so there is a trade-off to doing it without a partner. Okay? Much better if you do it with a partner. I'll let these guys go another 30 seconds.
You should feel this maybe a little in your lower back, just a little, down through your hip, all the way through your glutes.
All right, and go ahead and relax. All right, this next one is a single person again. But the difference here on this single one is if you have knee problems, you're not doing this one, okay? I'll let you know right now. If you have ankle problems, you might want to reconsider this one. But, so, you're going to start with your legs fairly close together, okay? And then you're just going to squat all the way down and touch the inside of your ankles. Okay, so squat all the way down as low as you can. Put your hands on the inside of your ankles. Hold on to those ankles. Okay? Okay, try to put your heels flat on the ground. Okay? From this position here, you're going to push out with your elbows. Push out, push out, push out. Okay? So for you guys that can't do this one, you're going to have to do it standing. Okay? So to do it from a standing position, I'm just going to push out, squat as low as I can, and push out on my knees. Okay? And try to push out on that squat. Okay? Again, we're stretching that groin muscle because we don't want to accidentally pull a groin muscle working out. We're trying to do a flip or whatever it is that we do that causes groin pulls.
Gyros.
The only thing gyros do for me is cause excessive skin in the front of my chest. All right, piece of cake, right? Go ahead and relax. All right, so now we've gone through all of our basic stretches that we wanted to work on. And so now we're going to work on some really critical things. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to use some target practice. We're going to use our big pad. Okay. So for our big pad, okay, you're going to use a partner. Here's the thing, all right? And if you don't get anything else out of your kicking drill right now, okay, understand this. When we practice in class, we practice static, dynamic, fluid. We do all kinds of motions to really enhance these. And we finalize all of it with sparring. Okay? So your goal, whether you like it or not, is to get to a sparring level. Okay? So the first kick that you're going to practice is just a front kick. So the thing that I want you to think about first, okay, we're going to start medium. My medium is to hit the center of the target. I'm going to hold my hands all the way up. I want to keep my elbows above my shoulders. Elbows below your shoulders don't help with the power shift that we need to do. Okay? I want to keep my back straight. I want to make sure that my chest is up towards my target and kick my foot straight forward into my target. Okay? Piece of cake. We're going to start slow. I want you to look straight at that target, tilt your hip, and pick up your knee, front kick into the target. Okay? So we're going to start slow.
If you don't have a target, just do these kicks in the air. Don't kick the lamp over.
Okay? She practices 3 or 4 kicks. Boom, in, down. Of course, her elbows are up and over her shoulders. Practice up, boom, kicks down. Okay? So now we go to the next level. Okay? You see her pulling that hip forward, arching that back as she goes into that kick. This is what adds power. So now we're going to start adding speed. So now we go up to medium speed. Pick that knee up as fast as you can, and then just kick out. Okay? Now, again, focus on where your target is. This is the midpoint that I want for my kick. That is where I want my target. Pick up my knee as fast as I can, and then just put my foot out. Okay? So you're practicing the first element of kicking, which is this muscle here, which is bringing that leg into position. The faster you bring it up, the faster the kick. She's not trying to kick fast, she's just whipping the foot out. But the result, because she's pulling it up so fast, is speed. Again, up, boom. There we have it. So now, we're going to add the next element to it, the power. I really need to add the power to this kick. So once I get into position here, I'm going to tilt my hip, arch my chest, and thrust my foot forward. And that speed is a little different than the first one. So now we should start having a little bit more power in our technique. We should have a lot more focus in our technique. We're focusing into that. So now we put all of those elements together and go for the fastest kick possible. From the front leg position, we'll show you back leg in a minute. From here, just roll up, boom. We're all speed. Elbows come up, boom, drive into our target. Piece of cake, right? So now we're going to go to the next level still, which is full power. To exercise full power, we're going to use the coil method. The coil is I'm going to use my whole body. That's when we say coil. A coil to generate power uses the entire coil, not just part of it. Okay? So from here, we're going to take that kicking leg, put it all the way to back. Okay? So now from this position here, I can flex that front leg a little bit. I can start bouncing a little bit. And now from here, my hands, which are up originally, we're going to pull down. Okay? As I pull down, I'm going to thrust my hip forward and drive my foot into my target as fast as I can. We're going to do this about 5 times. Ready? Practice. Go. 4. So now we start seeing the result of what happens here. We're practicing that speed. We want to get this going as fast as we can into that. Okay?
5 minutes.
And if we can get her going really fast, it's where she can exceed the frame rate of the camera, that would be awesome. Okay? So that was just level 1. That is just a basic kicking. Okay? So now we're going to kick that up a notch. We're going to go even higher. Okay? So while Miss Matthews practices her kicks, I'm going to go get the target pad, and then we're going to go up to the next level. Start with your 3 or 4 regular. Ready for the speed drill? Put it all the way in the back and just go for it. Throw your body as fast as you can. Pull your hands down as fast as you can. You got to pull his hands down. Pull his hands down for power. Pull his hands down. There you go. Look at your target. Drive your foot right into your target. Boom. Boom.
Miss Cassie's watching.
All right.
Hello, Cassie.
So now you guys know that I'm old and slow, right? Go ahead and hold that up for me. Okay? So I have practiced so long, so much, that I know that I can just pick my foot up, boom, and just drive into that target as fast as I can. So now we start thinking about that dynamic level. So what do we mean by dynamic level? Now I start moving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. And I kick my target. So now you start getting your dance rhythm in. Okay? Now, for you guys that want to be really good at sparring, how do I get there? Do I want to do this on a 1 count? Do I want to do it on a 2 count? Do I want to do it on a 3 count? Or 4 count? What works best for you? Okay? So I'm going to start with a small pad to help Ms. Smith out. Okay? Normally we practice these on the big pads, okay? Because we're working at big targets. Okay? By the time you get up to black belt level, okay, now you start looking at small target. Okay? I want you to think about when you're watching somebody spar, right? Their hands are like this, right? They're trying to cover. You'll notice that there's little bitty holes that are open. So most kids at the camo green belt level, when you kick, you're just hitting the arm. Right? Kicks are easy to block, whatever. Okay? But by the time you get to that black belt level, now they start looking at that target going, I can hit that. Okay? And they're not looking at the big picture. They're looking for the small hole. That's what we call focus. So that's where this comes in. Okay? So all I'm going to do is every time I open my hand up, she's got to kick. Okay? So she's just dancing around, she's moving in place. Every time I open my hand, boom, she's just got to put that foot up there. Boom. And right now we're only focused on a specific kick, front kick. Okay? If I wanted to do side kick, she would switch to a side kick position, and we would do the same exact thing. Okay? So whenever you're practicing this and you got that stretch going, boom. You know that you're just focusing here. She's working on that speed, she's working on the target. Okay? So now we go to the next level still. Height. Okay? I need to practice kicking high. The problem I have with most students, you guys that have been with me for a long time, you know this thing. Rule number 1, kick above your belt. Okay? I'm 61 years old, right? I'm old now. I can't kick above my belt anymore, right? But I can get my kick and my knee above my head. Okay? So if I can get my kick and knee above my head, you have to be able to do the same thing. So now, we start with the same drill. We start slow. We'll start with front kick. Picking the foot up and aim. Okay? You'll notice the first thing she does is look at her target. She looks at the target, kicks to the target. Okay? If my hand is here, she looks down at the target. So wherever her foot goes, she's looking at the target. That's what's going to help you. You'll notice that right when she goes to kick, watch her back. So for the first one here, she's here. Her back is just normal. She goes here. Right when her head turns, the back arches, she launches that kick into the target. Okay? So now we're going to go for the speed. Right? So now she starts that dance again. Okay? So now we're here. This is my target. She's got to bring that foot all the way up. Boom. She's got to bring that knee in, fire that foot up. Boom. Hit the target. Okay? Okay?
For her,
it's easier to do round kicks, so we're going to switch to round kicks. No problem.
to mention front kick, the higher front kick goes, the less out it will be.
There is that.
And he's like this far away from me. Yeah, go ahead, just kick it. Uh-huh.
All right, so now we go to the round kick, okay? Round kick, same thing. Here, boom. Right, wherever that target is, she's just got to bring that foot into that target, okay? So now we're practicing it. Dynamic, we're moving around, okay? So now when we get to fluid, now I start moving. I'll have 2 pads on instead of 1. I'll move around her on both sides of her, right? And I'm the target. Every time that that hand comes out, she's aiming for the target, okay? Me here is not the target. She's focusing on a specific point, okay? The goal is to get your body to respond to where the target is. Quit looking at the whole target, the whole body, and start looking for targets, okay? How do I get my foot there, okay? The same works for hook kicks, side kicks, pressing kicks, whatever, okay? How do we feel, ladies? Stretched? We're good? Wow. How do we feel? Pretty good, right? So now it's time for a little cool down. Let's get that back loosened up a little bit. Let's start right here. Our legs spread apart. Go ahead and bend all the way forward. Relax, relax, relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay? We put our knees should be a little bit warm now from all the kicking that we've done. Our hips should be a little bit warm from all the kicking that we've done. You notice that whenever I do my stuff, I move my hips a lot, right? I got to keep that blood flowing, right? Get the blood flowing. That's the whole object. Get oxygen and blood to those joints. Okay? Relax, relax, relax. Okay? Pull your feet all the way together. Grab the outsides of your knees. Make circles. For you guys with siblings, this is great to do. Turn around, face away from your sibling. Stick your butt in their face and work on your knee stretches. Mommy's bothering me. Oh, I'm just stretching. See? More helpful hints from me. I'll be getting texts and emails later. All right. Stretch them out. Put them back. Stretch them out. Put them back. All the way up on those toes again. Keep those ankles nice and loose. Right? Roll around on that a little bit. The other foot, roll around a little bit. Okay? So now we didn't do too much with the back today, but because you were kicking, right? You use a lot of your core and back muscles in that stretch. So make sure that you stretch that as well. We'll start with the right arm. Reach all the way over, stretch. Pull it all the way behind you here. Okay? When you get to my age, you start pulling muscles just by getting out of a chair. Sometimes sitting in a chair, you pull a muscle. You haven't even moved. I once pulled a hammy just by reaching for the remote. It was horrible. Okay? Reach all the way down. Reach all the way down. Stretch. Relax, relax. We're just rotating that back. Okay? Relax, relax. Relax that back. All right. That is all the time that we have today for stretches. Hope everybody got to enjoy that. For you guys who are going to be watching this later, enjoy, laugh, whatever. Replay parts at your own speed. I'm your man, Bob Matthews. Have a great afternoon. Trip. Good night.
ATA.
Good night.